everything you need to know about products and services that can improve your life. This is Experts on Call on CL650.
We all need somebody to lean on.
And welcome back. This is Experts on Call on CL650. I'm Joanne Sutton. Joining us in the studio today from IntactInsurance, we have Patrick Magnuson and Keith Story, along with Andrew Tablotny of Laguerre Pelling Insurance from Richmond, British Columbia. So Patrick, once again, just give us a quick synopsis of your role in the industry and what qualifies you as our expert today.
Well, I'm Corporate Director of Personal Lines with IntactInsurance, and I've been sort of in the underwriting stream of things for, I guess, 19 years now. And yeah, I mean, I'm involved in developing our products and the pricing and everything that we sell to our customers through our broker channel. Through the broker channel. And Keith?
I've been in insurance for somewhat 20 years, all in claims, currently in a claims manager role. I've seen just about every type of claim that can possibly happen. So well versed in the claim side of things. And Andrew, as our resident broker?
Have you ever seen somebody jump out of an airplane and their parachute catch the tail of a plane and cause the plane to crash?
Apparently I haven't seen just about everything.
I had one of those. So I've been around forever, so I've seen.
You're the dinosaur.
That's right.
You said that earlier.
Yes. So.
But 25 years with Laguerre Pelling Insurance, or
36 years, 37 years in the industry.
37 years in the industry.
Forever.
So there, we've qualified our experts. So back to the basics of Insurance 101 here. The bottom line, why do we need insurance?
Well, it protects you and your biggest asset, which is likely your home, as well as all of your belongings should something sudden and accidental happen. These unforeseen loss or damages are they're otherwise financially devastating. And there's an emotional toll of when you have to deal with that. And if you didn't have the funds or resources, abilities to get yourself back. It also protects you from, we didn't talk about this, but also protects you from the consequences of your actions or what happens on your property. So there's a liability component to your homeowner's policy. So if you're skiing up a Whistler and you get out of control and you hit somebody and break their leg, well, you're covered for that as well, for any lawsuits that happen and the defense, as well as any potential damages and costs that come out of that. So there's an important side both on the property side as well as the liability side.
Well, we didn't talk a lot about what happens on your own property if the mailman slips delivering the mail in the morning.
Absolutely. I mean, if there's ice or wet leaves or something and somebody slips and falls and breaks their arm or hurts themselves, gets a concussion, again, your liability portion protects you from that.
That's right. So how much research should one actually do before buying insurance? Is it kind of like trying to find a realtor to represent them? You interview a couple, or? Well,
I guess it depends. I mean, we're in the age of the computer now, so most people think they can just go online, push click a few buttons, and they've got a quote. But that's only the beginning, and it's the information behind it that matters. A classic example is people in Calgary when we had the floods. They went in and they clicked their buttons and they saved $100 or $200 on their house policy, and then when the floods came, they found out that the policy did not cover sewer backup caused by flooding, which most of the insurance companies were. So they ended up paying $200 million out of their own pocket because their brand was being trashed on social media and everybody thought it should have been covered. So, I can quote all kinds of examples where people buy insurance online and at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. And even on
so, but how do we know what we don't? We don't even know what we don't know.
Well, and even from broker to broker, I don't want to toot my own horn, I guess. But I mean, I talked about, if you want to go to one of our previous episodes where we talk about umbrella liability. I don't know very many brokers that talk about umbrella policies with their clients. Like I'll put the challenge out to your clients. Like how many people have their brokers said you should be buying an umbrella policy for you because it's better protection and I can actually save you money.
And if they haven't said that, then you're not talking to the right broker.
Well, in my opinion.
I think is that conversation with your broker all about price, or is it all about the product? I mean, and there should be a balance between it, but it's not necessarily buying the cheapest product that's going to be the best for you. Because the product that you're buying should fit your needs, should fit your unique situation, your house, your exposures, your life. It shouldn't just be the bottom dollar. It should be what's best for you.
So I think what I'm taking away from this conversation now is do a little research online. Sure, you know, don't, no one's saying not to, but when it comes to finding a broker, go and meet a couple and find out who speaks the same language and who's asking the right questions. And
yeah, who resonates with you.
And bring your questions to ask.
Yeah.
Well, it's about being informed, you know, and you know, knowing what's out there. So
well, there's a lot of variables when it comes to buying insurance, whether it's for your home, your family, floods, earthquakes, acts of God.
That's not a real term.
That's not a real term.
That's not the Hollywood term.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear that, because there is a certain percentage of people that think that, oh, that's considered an act of God. It's like that is not your language.
Yeah. Red cars don't assure more, and acts of God aren't excluded.
Okay. I would like a little bit of final input from each of you today about, you know, one of the most important items that we can go home with, you know, whether it's from today's show, which was earthquake insurance, water claims being the most prevalent in the world right now, or in Canada, or auto insurance, or just something that you would like to plant a seed in our minds of one of the most important things we need to remember when it comes to insurance. Patrick, did you want to start?
Sure. Well, I think we sort of alluded to earlier, but I mean, I think you should have that conversation. Know what your policy covers you for and be comfortable with it. I mean, the amount of research that we do buying things like TVs and lawnmowers and stuff, I mean, and it's just for a small little item. We get it. Insurance isn't that sexy, but it is important. And you need to take that time to know what your policy is and to find an expert who really knows it. So if you're comfortable with your broker, if you've never had a conversation with your broker, maybe you should find someone or have that conversation. And
one of the things that you have mentioned in the past, Patrick, is that Intact has actually changed the language. Like you said, insurance isn't a sexy topic, but it's also been very difficult for the average layman like myself to comprehend. Mm-hmm. But you've revamped that as well, haven't you?
It's certainly on our automobile policy. When we introduced it in January, it's in much more plain English terms. Right in the wording, there's actually little examples. So I think that's pretty cool. It makes a lot more sense for people who aren't industry experts. So yeah, that helps.
Okay. And Andrew, what can we take home with from you today as one of the most important things and the most important message you would like to get across? It's hard to pick just one.
Well,
I know.
don't accept that everything you've got is accurate. You know, that you've got the best coverage. You need to talk to your broker, ask questions. Do I have the best coverage? Is there ways I can save money? There's you know, I've been selling $1,000 deductible on my policies for probably the last 5 to 10 years. You know, a lot of brokers sell $500 because they make more money. Our policies are based on commission. I look at what's value for my clients. You know, and I'm now got clients that are going into $2,500 deductibles because it makes sense on the savings. You know the coverage that you've got. There's different types of policies that are available. You don't have to buy the Cadillac. You can buy the stripped down version and save some money but take on more risk.
And nothing is really cookie cutter, is it? Like we should bring as much personal information to our broker as possible?
Well, exactly, because do you have a wood stove in your house? That makes a difference. Do you have a suite in your basement? That makes a difference. You know, we need to know all the details to be able to provide you with the right kind of coverage. Because you know, as a broker, I represent 5 or 6 different companies, and not every company views every risk the same way.
And Keith, from a claims perspective, is there anything that you would like us to keep in mind?
Well, being from the claims, I like to see people not have to go through claims. But in the event that you do have to, know what your policy is, know what you're covered for. Then there's no surprises. Talk to your broker. And I also believe in take precautions. What can you do to reduce the potential of having a claim? Ultimately, reduced claim costs will eventually equal reduced premium costs.
Okay, that's a good point. So how do we as a society make an effort to help premiums go down? Because it's one of our complaints. It's like, oh, every year my insurance goes up. It goes up. Is there anything we can do?
Well, premiums are based on projected claims. So if claims volume goes down, claims dollars paid out goes down, premiums are going to go down.
So have the conversation. Talk to the broker, talk to your family, do some of the tricks and tips that we talked about today about preventing possible damage or possible claims in your home. And
well, I challenge the listeners to, you're on your way home now, go home tonight and after dinner, open the door and look at your hot water tank and see how many years old it is. If it's 8 to 10 years old, think about replacing it in the next 3 to 4 years and
before it blows.
Right,
And
because ultimately it's going to cost you $1,000 to replace the tank, or it's going to blow and it's going to cost you $1,000 on your deductible. And then on top of that, you may be out of your house. There may be additional damage, and your premiums are going to go up. So why not be proactive instead of reactive?
And if you just replaced it, write the date on it.
oh, there you go. Perfect. And then you know when to go and check it again.
Exactly.
And didn't you have a challenge as well, Patrick?
Sure. Go home and we talked about braided hoses. So go home and check on your toilets, the hose that goes down from the water tank, and check behind your washer, and if you have a steam dryer, behind your washer and your steam dryer, and see what those hoses are. If they're rubber, spend the $4 to replace it with a braided steel.
Super.
And know where your hot water or your water cutoff is.
The main water valve to the house.
That's right.
Make sure there isn't 14 pieces of furniture in front of it, so you can't get to it.
That's really important. A year ago, my hot water tank actually let go with my wife standing right beside it, and she knew exactly where to turn the water off.
Everybody should have that information.
Yeah.
Everybody. I don't care what age you are, right?
Yeah.
Thanks to all three of you gentlemen for sharing your expertise with us today. And I hope you as a listener have been able to take away a little bit of something from today's show. And of course, if you have any further questions, please get more information online at intact.ca, or you can contact Andrew Tablotny here in Richmond at legearpelling.com. Patrick, Andrew, and Keith, thanks again for joining Experts on Call.
Thanks, Joanne.
Thank you.
I'm Joanne Sutton. Thanks for listening. This is Experts on Call on CL 650.